intellect has to be trained. The spirit has to be activated and motivated to understanding what is the responsibility of a Muslim, of a man on this planet.
Lyndon Johnson, he can always raise the argument about law and order because he never talks about justice. But black people fall for that same argument and they go around talking about lawbreakers. We did not make the laws in this country. We are neither morally nor legally confined to those laws. Those laws that keep them up keep us down. You got to begin to understand that. 400 years he taught you white nationalism.
What Imam Jamil, H. Brown at the time signified was a shifting of the focus, and also a shifting of the civil rights paradigm, which said that, you know, black people were able to define their struggle themselves. They didn't need quote unquote good white folks to come out and define the struggle. That they indeed could define the struggle themselves.
It's no in between. You're either free or you're a slave. There's no such thing as second-class citizenship. That's like telling me you can be a little bit pregnant.
H. Brown was important, along with Malcolm X and Martin Luther King Jr., because he represented the cutting edge of a younger generation's attempt to respond to the political paralysis that had engulfed bourgeois black leadership and so-called mainstream society.
When al-Malik was martyred, the two leaders who the government felt were going to take over, if you will, were then Stokely Carmichael and H. Brown. So when one of these major figures now becomes Muslim, and then if you check out the writings of Imam Jamil, you'll see that Imam Jamil began to take it even further than al-Malik al-Shabazz got, in that Imam Jamil began to specifically lay out how Islam would benefit the black liberation struggle.
When he makes the transition to Islam, he survives and he thrives as far as his humanity is concerned, because the move from nationalism to Islam is the hallmark. It's the best thing that you could do. Then he comes into Islam, he brings with him all of that history, and he brings with it also his concern for humanity.
Something that's ignored for most of his public career. He has been a Muslim, and for most of his public career acting as an imam, as a leader spiritually of his people, to bring enlightenment, truth, and justice, to encourage them to organize their lives around radical principles of love and charity and fellow feeling and sentiments of tremendous social empathy.
I think people will let you know that, you know, Imam Jamil, you know, always focus on Allah, always focusing on especially prayer. You know, so I would go to a place, that's what Imam Jamil is going to speak. I know what he's speaking about. He's speaking about prayer. We got to go to prayer. We got to go to the masjid.
The Prophet, peace and blessing upon him, Allah commanded upon him salat 5 times a day, prayer. Allah said, for it is prayer that restrains, that keeps you from evil behavior. It is prayer that begins to check your motivation toward dunya.
Alhamdulillah, Imam Jamil is a very, very unique person for Muslims and non-Muslims in North America. He does not only come with his pure and very highly spiritual, unique approach to people and things and issues. He combines activism with rationale. He combines peaceful transformation of the community and puts himself as a community servant. This is why people love him so much.
By being proactive in the community, the Muslims gained a reputation as keeping the West End safe, to the point that you had, there was one elderly lady, she's passed on now, but she commented that she wouldn't come out unless she saw a Muslim standing up there on the corner by the Imam's store, because she liked to walk the park. And so by us being there, it made her feel safe. And so you had women who may have been victims of domestic violence. You know, they run down the street to the Imam's store, or they'll see a brother, they run to the mosque or run to the brother for protection.
We've been together since 1967, and so I have witnessed the persecution, the harassment, the surveillance, and every effort that they can or every effort that they took to silence him. And Imam Jamil has never been a person to be silenced.
In my mind, there's no doubt that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has raised him up and made him a good sign for Islam in this country, and that his situation has changed the face of things. Things will not be the same anymore. We have somebody in our midst who understands the importance of fighting for truth and justice.
Justice, unfortunately, in our country is not colorblind, is not race blind, is not social strata blind, and we know that there are unfortunately, there are so many factors playing in this equation.
Imam Jamil has been accused of a crime that is at best a violation of city or state criminal laws. I'm speaking of the nature of the crime. Yet, when the law enforcement authorities went searching for him, this search was done by a combined force of FBI, federal marshals, anti-terrorist task force, and the city and state police. They were like incidental to the search. Why is this? What is it about the importance of Imam Jamil and that would make people in government, the same people who it has now been revealed during pretrial hearings, the same people who have over 40,000 different documents, covert intelligence documents on the Imam.